Okay, so let's review homework pretty quick. Okay, so here no home button to go back to the home page. Oh, so the question here is, okay, that's the reason thing is, why do you need to go to the home page? First question. Okay, and even if you need it, um, maybe you can use back button. Okay, so that's what they say, right? Here you see here, place an order button. Uh, Okay, so here you can use the browser's back button to change selections. Okay, that's the reason they didn't put the home button. Okay, so here you can use this home button. So there is no reason to have this home button, or unless if this is a little bit puzzling because why do we need this home button? Oh, the question too is, why do you need this home button in the first place? Okay, and even if you need this home button, you can use the browser's back or browser's home button, so that uh, not browser's home, of course, that doesn't do that, but you can use this URL to go back to the home button. Okay, so that's explain. You see, when you open, see such kind of questions, right? This is good for talking. So this you have to do all this in the free time. Okay, this is really not a defect, but this is something which you want to update or introduce a new feature into an application. Okay, so this is more like talking to the VA, saying that, hey, you know what, there's no home button here. So if you have any specific reason for that, why do you need this home button or something? You have long list and you want to go to the different list. So that would be a really good reason if you want to go to the home button. But otherwise, I don't see any reason for going this home button. Okay, that's the reason they don't have this home button. And okay, so let's check out. So okay, so this is good. You know what? The way I understood this is your credit card will not be charged. This supposed to be there on the web page, right? That's what do you mean? So if you mean that, so that is good. Okay, so that can be a defect because you want to let your customers know that your credit card will not charge. See, you don't get, you are not immediately charged once you place the order. You will be only charged once the order ships. Okay, I mean, there's no reason to charge your card immediately. Normally, that doesn't happen. Sometimes they might do it immediately, but they only charge your card once the order is shipped. Okay, so this is a very good reason. Okay, So this can be a defect. Okay, good. Only two people. Any more? Anyone else has any defects? Okay, so now let me tell you what you guys have missed. The major defect, what I was looking was for, if you go to this browser test page, okay, and I see this image that is here, okay. When I hover my mouse, you know what, this is changing into hand cursor, and there is no reason to change this in hand cursor, right, unless it's a URL. So the moment I click this, server error. This is a defect. Okay. Now I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a web page around here, or it's just an error, or you know, it can be a little, you know, complicated issue here. So most probably there will be nothing. Only this image should not supposed to, you know, show up this thing. So this is a bug. Does it make sense to everyone? Okay, so this is what I was expecting actually. Okay, and the next defect was right in front of your, you know, web page. Nobody has noticed it. Look at this, the copyright issue 1997. So this is not 1997. This is 2017. So this has to get been updated. Okay, this copyright has been expired. Okay, you cannot put expired copyright on a web page. If you use financial, I'm not sure how much they care, but if it's a healthcare project, well, this is a compliance issue. Okay, this is a real compliance issue, and if this doesn't get fixed, or this company is really seriously getting charged for, you know, there will be so many lawsuits on that. Okay, so this is really a compliance issue, and it's really, you know, not good idea to keep an outdated copyright. I mean, this is like, you can say this is all simple, just change the number, but that doesn't happen. That, you know, there's a certificate that has to get installed in the system. Once the certificate gets installed, you know, they have to update all this. So once they have to buy that certificate, okay, once they buy it, after that only they can change this. Okay, so this was the, you know, very first beginning of your web page. So I was just, you know, looking, someone would have got a, you know, got this defect, but okay, so simple. Um, I would assume even in the financial, it's very important. You cannot put outdated copyright. Okay, you have to put the new one. Okay, and this will be a serious issue with the healthcare project. If you're doing the insurance and healthcare, then you know what, you have to get ready for this. This is a really serious thing. You cannot put an outdated copyright into the, you know, healthcare projects and saying that, you know what, this is 1997. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that was the second. Nobody thought of that. Okay, so let's, you know what, the another issue was just showing you. Someone in a previous batch has opened that, and that was really good. Now here, now if I'm putting here as September, right? So it's not 9. So let's put as 07 and 17. Okay, so this is accepting an expired credit card. Does it make sense? So eight is, oops, 8 is September, right? Oh yeah, 8 is August. August, right? 8 is August. So July is okay. Let's try this business. Okay, August and it's accepting here, and this is September 9th, right? So this is accepting an expired credit card. Okay. So does it make sense? Does it make sense to guys? So this is a defect because it's not supposed to see August. August is gone. August it's been 13 days and August is gone long time. And you're not supposed to, once it's gone, you need to get a new credit card or whatever it is, but you're not putting an expired credit card here. Okay, this is not supposed to accept it. Okay, this 1 month is fine, but it's still an issue because you're, okay, this in July is fine, but it's not accepting it. Okay, so this is also a defect. It's taking the expired credit card. Three major defects. So this will be, okay, this will be low priority, but still an issue. Any questions? So I'm looking for the three major issues. Okay, so let's go to the. Okay, so today, so we'll talk about this Rally. So what's exactly Rally? Rally is a test management tool. Okay, it's a test management tool. So far what you're trying to do is you're trying to open a defect. So let's say you have opened, you actually found a defect. Okay, we don't even open defects at the first moment. First we need to find the issue. Okay, once you found an issue, you need to talk with the lead saying that, hey, you know what, this is the defect I found. Is it really a defect or is it a feature? And now once your lead gives you a green flag, now then after that you need to open the defect. Okay, now you cannot, just because you found some issue doesn't mean that it's an issue. Okay, thus you need to remember that. Okay, you need to coordinate with the team members. Okay, that's the problem, right? See, just because you found something doesn't mean it is it is a defect. Okay, so never take that for granted. Okay, this is a defect. Now this is a defect. You can't do that. Okay, because you never know how that is designed, who's responsible for this, and what is supposed to do. Okay, so you never know on that. So what you need to do is coordination is very important. You need to coordinate with your lead and check with it. If lead is not there, you need to check with the developer is not there, check with the business analyst is not there, check with your boss. Okay, so you don't go to the boss, you need to check with the scrum master or project manager. Okay, so that's how you need to coordinate. Okay, if you don't work on coordination part, then it will be really hard for you. Okay, so this is so by today I'll be giving you access for this Rally. Okay, so once you put in your username and password and login, and you get the screen. So how you guys will take advantage of this? Okay, you need to really if you want to know this tool. See, this tool is I'll be giving you in detail in this, but the only thing is remaining from you is you need to practice. Okay, if you don't practice, you'll never understand this tool. Okay, so you need to really practice it. Okay, if you have questions, you can reach out to me. Okay, so here once you log in into the tool, okay, and okay, and first you need to figure it out which project you're working on. Okay, you might have access to all of the project, you might not have access to all the project, you might have specific access, all those things. So you want to make sure which project are you working on. Okay, here it's easy because just for project in really that will not be a in any case this will not be a situation. You'll be having plenty of projects, sub projects, some sub projects. Okay, so there's a lot of things that goes on. So here it's easy. So I know what's a project, so I'll just click on this and this. Once you figure it out which project it is, to know which project, you need to check with your lead or check with the business analyst, whoever you're coordinating with. Okay, and once you check with them, Okay, now you know which project. You need to figure it out which user story are you working on. Now, again, there's a lot of things here. Okay, there's a lot of things goes on. This is nothing. This is only 55. In real time, we'll be having some thousands of things. Okay, in just one project, and you need to figure it out which user story, because there's so many iterations. There are sub user stories, sub user stories. Okay, so this is pretty complex. Projects. Okay, so I know which project. So what I'll do is I'll just click it here. Once I expand it, now I see here which is mine. So here's mine. So US 167, user story 167, and testing GML website. So now once I figure it out which user story I am, I just click on this. Okay. Now this is a requirement. It's really not a good idea to change the requirements. Okay, you're not really authorized to do that. Even if you have access, you're not supposed to change the requirement. It's not your job. Remember it. This is requirements is written by business analyst. You are not a business analyst. Okay, so you are not authorized to change anything. You are just looking the information what they have put, and this information can be as simple as one line. As complex as one line statement, or they put a lot of information there, so it's you may not really get to understand that everything, because these user stories they create based on a lot of people in keeping in mind. Okay, because a lot of people are working here: developer, tester, project manager. Okay, again they have this architect, okay, developer architect, and they have to work on this, and they have the 3-4 teams out there, developer 3-4 teams. So a lot of things happen. So a lot of people are involved here. So don't expect this cakewalk. So a lot of information will be there, and you may not understand it. At instance, you may read many times. Maybe you need to read like 6, 7 times, 8 times. Okay, whenever you're free, just keep on reading it. After that, once you understand it, you will get to know, okay, what you need to test here. Okay. Normally, this will be discussed in Scrum, meetings. So you may not grasp it immediately. So that's the reason you need to read it and understand what exactly is all about. Okay, here it's simple. I made it simple. Like this is the URL. Said like, okay, you need to verify all the requirements. Okay, functional testing of So this is user story. Okay, this is the information. Now, so let's go one by one here. Okay, let's talk about this task. Okay, now click on this task. So this task is to so there's a difference between the task and test cases. Task is something like what is assigned to you, or most of the times it's what's assigned to you by your boss. Or if there is nothing like that, then you need to create your own task. Why? You might be working on a lot of things. Okay, you might be working on functional testing. You might be working on integration testing. Again, you might be working on smoke testing, sanity testing, so on and so forth. And when you're working on that, you want to prioritize your work, right? How much time you require to complete this? How much time you require to complete functional testing? How much time? So that's the reason you need this task. Okay. And the one important thing about this task is that you have this time allocated. You don't have time in test cases. Let's see here. Let me create one task. So I'll put this functional testing. So I'll just put my name here because here I'm putting my name. You don't have to put in real time because everyone knows who created it. This is because we don't have any access. So okay, so here is some information here. So state you want to put as in progress. Once you do that, you want to put as ready. That means this is ready. And how much estimation task, let's say we are completing in 10 hours, so this is estimation task is 10 hours, okay? And what you're going to do is, functional testing of GM Online. Okay, good. Okay, if you have any attachments, you can go ahead with the attachment. If you have any notes, you can write the notes here. So for now, we are not doing that, and we'll just create. Okay, great. So I created a task, okay, and it is assigned by number called TA237. TA means task, okay. What is that task about? That means functional testing for GM Online. Now you can create any number of tasks, okay, functional testing, regression testing, integration testing, system testing, so on, okay, whatever the testings you are allowed to do. Okay, so um, so whatever task you are allowed to do, I'm sorry, whatever testing you are allowed to do, you need to create your task. Or sometimes this task may come from your boss or from your lead. Okay, so they might have pretty bunch of stuff, task, and they'll just what they do is they just put this owner and put your name here. Okay, they'll just put your name, and this directly goes into your inbox. I mean, that's directly goes into your um, login ID. So now you will, once you log in, so you'll figure it out. Oh, somebody assigned this work to me. Oh, very new. Okay, so that's how it will be. So they will not tell. They will never tell you this. You are doing this. They'll just assign it to you, and you need to figure it out. Okay, what is being assigned and what you are supposed to do. Okay, any questions in the task? So this task can be, it depends on the project. This can be created by you, or your boss creates for you, or lead assigns to you. It's actually depends. It's pretty broad, and if no one has assigned to you, then you have to create yourself. Why? Because here you have this time. Okay, because the project is not unlimited. Your project runs for 2 weeks. Let's say 2 weeks. Okay, 1 week, and you need to complete all your testing in 1 week. Okay, that's your time limit. Okay, 1 week is pretty long, but this will take an example. Okay, so 1 week you need to finish all this. So you want to show that how much time you have spent on this particular task. Okay, if you don't show that, then if you don't show it, you get a question. So how much time you spend? If you're not able to answer that, then you're in trouble, because you need to show some proof or evidence saying that, hey, you know what, this is what I spend in time. This is what I spend on, okay, on this thing, okay. Give me a second. Okay, so now can everyone hear me properly? So, okay, so that's the task. Okay, let's go to the next one, test cases. So before testing your application, before doing anything, you need to write test cases. But here in this scenario, we first tested the application, okay, and but that's really not the procedure. The process is first you need to write your test cases. Then only you can start testing. But here, just for your sake of ease of convenience and ease of understanding, we did that first. Okay, normally that's really not going to happen. Okay, it's normally first write the test cases, then execute the test cases, then you find the defects and report the defects. So that's how it happens. Okay. Okay. So here, let's say I want to write my test cases. Okay, test cases on GMO. Now, to write these test cases, hover your mouse over the action. You don't even have to click it. Okay, you need to hover your mouse and click on new test case. Okay. Okay. Good. Now this pop-up window shows up, and you need to fill a lot of information here. Okay. So I'll just leave this. So yeah, some people might be getting echo, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'll try to check it. If you're not able to hear, now you'll be getting a good recording by the end of the day. Okay, I'll try to see if I can fix that one. So that's really this tool has a lot of issues actually. Okay, so you'll be getting a better audio quality, so don't worry about it. Okay, so you can refer that one. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so who is not getting recordings? Okay, as I told you, send me an email. Okay, because I have list of email, but send me an email again. Don't ping on the chat because see these emails are getting rejected here. Okay, these emails are getting rejected here. So that's the reason I tell you, guys, to send an email again. Again, people keep pinging it, so just don't do that because I'm trying to send people and it just gets rejected. Okay, so make sure send me an email if you're not getting it. Okay, I'll add to the list and I'll forward whatever the recordings we have so far. Okay, so yeah, I changed it, so you might be able to hear it now properly. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, and click on new test case. Okay, that's what it is here. Okay, so once you do that, you can add tag to. Okay, and add a tag and description. We'll just put as functional testing. Okay. Once you have completed this description, once you fill up this description, if you have attachments, you can go ahead and attach the attachment. For here, we don't require attachment here. And the owner of this owner of the test case is always QA analyst. Okay, so if you are working in a big project or big company, okay, so then it might be a little different. Okay, you might be, you may be writing only test cases and you assign the test cases to particular concerned person. But normally the situation is who has written the test cases normally executes that guy, executes it. So owner of the test case is always QA. Okay. Then what's the project you're working on? Okay, list of projects which you have access. And here is expedite. If you want to expedite your you can click here, but for now we'll just put it. So here you have objective. So what's the objective? You just put this. Functional testing for Gmail. Okay, so you have this work product. Work product is kind of linking your test cases, okay, because you need to link, right? Link in sense, when I'm trying to execute it or whenever I'm trying to use it, so it has to show which requirement it is. That's user story, okay? So that's the reason you have this, okay? If you know the user stories, you can click on that magnifying glass and, check which the user story does your test cases belongs. And, you add it. Here by default, we are opening on the user story itself, so that's the reason it showed up. So it's good. And what type of testing is this? This is functional testing. And is it manual or automated? So it's put manual. Priority we'll just put is important. Risk, medium. Okay. And once you have done that, so preconditions. So before executing these test cases, what are the preconditions you want to take care of? Okay. So here what it is. Okay, so here we have to, smoke testing has to be completed before doing your functional testing. Smoke testing should be completed, and the code should be there in the QA environment. Okay, you cannot, normally you don't do in dev environment production, you don't do testing there unless specified by a manager or project manager. Other than that, you're not doing any testing in production or development environment. You have to do in test environment. Okay, that's QA environment. And post conditions, we just put the post conditions as okay. So this is what you need to. Oops. So regression testing should be completed. Once you complete manual testing, you need to complete your regression testing, and the code should be deployed in the production environment. Okay, so that's the post conditions. If you have any notes, you can write the notes here. Okay, now let's see here in the steps. So this is the steps. Okay, this is where you will be writing your test cases. Okay, now there are two important fields here. This validation input and validation expected result. So what input are you giving and what the expected result are you getting? Okay, so that's the important thing here when you're writing your test cases. Okay, so whenever you're writing your test cases, so let's see here. So in our case, we already have this application ready. So I'm writing based on our application. But normally that will not be a scenario for you. Most of the time you'll be writing test cases based on the documents. Okay, so here we just write based on this. So what's the input we're giving is so there will be a lot of browser testing. You need to do a lot of not browser testing. You need to do in different browsers. Okay, you need to do in Chrome, Safari, Firefox, okay, IE, this Microsoft Edge, you need to go ahead with the Microsoft Edge, so on. Okay, So a lot of browser testing, so, we'll be doing testing in different browsers. Okay, here we are using Chrome browser, so we're just putting this Chrome browser. Okay, and so when you're putting this, enter the URL in the Chrome browser and hit enter. Okay, so that's what we have done, right? So what is this? Homepage of GMO online display. So here we'll just put this. Okay, so this is one test case. Now you want to write more test case, right? So what you want to do is you go ahead and click on this icon which is located near the steps here, right? Okay, yeah, I'll just you can call me after class, or we can work on that one. Okay. So I assume your question is, somebody asked a question, right? What's the difference between verification and validation? Okay, I think that's your question, because both are validation. Okay, this is actually verification and validation. Okay, so we'll talk on that one. Okay, I'll give you an example too on that. Okay, so let's finish this. Okay, once we finish this, and we can work on that. So once you have done this, you need to add action steps that is located right beside these steps. Okay, this is an icon. Once you add this, is drop down box. Once you click on this, drop down box shows up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means if you click on one, it shows pair of fields, two pair of fields. Three. So we'll go just one by one. Okay, let's see how it performs. Okay, so okay, yeah. Somebody asked, what's validation. So here, so so we are not okay. We are not doing any validation here. So what we are trying to do here is a functional testing. Okay. So validation and verification is a different topic altogether. Okay. So the difference is, see, so somebody asked, right? I mean, those too many questions on that. So okay, let me give you the answer there. Validation is, if for example, are you building a product? Okay, are you building the right product? And verification is, are you building the right product, right? Okay, so it's like, here you're seeing, in verification you're seeing the in high level picture, in validation you're looking at just in the application side. Okay, so that is the difference between the validation and verification. But here in this scenario, we are not doing any verification and validation. Okay, does it make sense? We are not doing any verification. Here we are trying to do is functional testing of an application. Okay. Okay. Now again, we need to give input and expect a result. So let's say I'm trying to test this button. Okay. Now again, you need to remember always, you need to come up with three major scenarios. That is positive scenario, negative scenario, and boundary values. Three major scenarios. You can come up with n number of scenarios. Okay. If you know what you're doing, and if your EDL is a lot more than scenarios, okay, you need to do a lot of things. Here, there's three major important things: positive, negative, and boundary values. Let's see here. So here I'm just trying to do here a button. So let's click on this button. So what I'm trying to write here for the test case is, so I know this page is open because we have already done this. Okay, validation input and what is the expected result. Okay, once you're trying to do the input and what is the result for that. Okay, so we just put it here. Click on Okay, so click on enter GMO online button. So enter GMO online button, you need to click. And what's happening? And the page is navigated to um, online catalog page. Okay, so since the URL also shows that online catalog and the heading is also there, so I'm calling this as online catalog page. Okay. Okay. Once you have done this, you want to add more your test cases, right? So what you want to do is you can go ahead and click on this again, add action step. Once you click on this, again this drop down box shows up. Here we'll again go for one. If you want to write in bunch, like for 5 test cases, you can go ahead with 5. Here we are doing one after the other, so for an ease of convenience. Okay, once you get here, now your first test case is done. Click on, actually first is this one. Okay, but before entering it, you want to enter some information, right? So this is the input and this is the expected. And the second one, we just write it. Let's see, we are in this page. Let's put a 10. So enter the value for 3% dominant. For the order quantity, as 10. Okay, so that means I'm trying to enter the value for 3% dominant for the order quantity as 10. And do click on place an order button. Okay, so this is. Okay, now once you have done this, the expected is what's expected. Page is actually, so page is redirected to place an order page. Okay, so this is my third test case. Now I want to add more, right? So again, go ahead and click on this button, add action step, and click on one again. Now what happens? What happened? You see this? I mean, this is my third test case, not the second. But this one came in between, right? This is really not my second test case. This is third. Second is this one. Now this thing is getting screwed up. Okay, so we don't want to have that. Okay, we want this as a third column, not as second, because second is this one. Enter the value. We cannot mess up with our test cases. So what you want to do is click on this. So that for every fields, they have two icons here. See these two icons. Add action step and action menu. Click on action menu and move step down. Oops, wrong button. Move step down. Okay. Okay. So once you move that step down, now this becomes my third. So so that's how you need to see this thing very very closely, because you don't want that as a second step because I already did a second step and I'm going with order. Okay, now we cannot mess up with this test cases just by replacing those values. Okay, so now this is my third test case. Now it's good. Now what I want to do is now click on proceed with order button. Okay, and what is the expected page is navigated to billing and information page. Billing information. Okay, so this is the third test case. Now I don't want to go back here and add test case because now it's my test cases are getting screwed up, so I won't do that. So what I'll do is I'm using the block, these two icons which are located on every field that is in the right corner, right, upper corner, and I want to click on that and click that one. Okay, this is called action, add action. So what the good thing about this is it just creates a next field for you instead of in between. Because if I'm using this is creating in between. You see this, and that is screwing up my test cases. So I don't want to do that. So now I'm using this one for ease of my convenience. Okay. Now once I this fill up all this information here. Oops, not that. Use this. No, this is anything. Okay, now what you're going to write here is okay, enter all the information in the billing information page. Okay, and click on this place the order button. Okay, okay. Okay, so what's the expected? Just click on this. Now we get receipt. Okay, online store receipt. So page is okay. Now I want to write one more test case after this. Okay, so I use the same action which is located in the right corner, add action step, and click on one. Okay, you can create bulk in bulk like 5. Okay, the max is 5, but we just go one by one, so that's better. Okay, so here what I'm trying to see here is click on return to home page button. Okay, okay, so page should be navigated to home page. Okay, and any questions so far? So once you have done that, okay, so that's a very good question. Somebody asked a question, right? So what if the information in this, right? So let's try to understand this question. What if the information in the billing page is put as wrong information? Okay, so let's see here. So the information here is wrong. Okay, so let's see. Oops. Okay, so there is no different test case for that. Okay, simple answer is there is no different. See here, what you're trying to do is you're trying to do testing. Okay, so that's a good thing you brought up. Okay, somebody asked that question, right? If there's any wrong information, so how are you going to do in the test case? See, test case is a little bit high level document. You're not really writing each and every detailed information in the test case. Okay, you're not giving too much detail. Why? Because really, it's really not a good place to write detailed information in that. You need to do um, in the application, but in the test case, you want to keep it simple. Because if you're spending too much time on writing test cases, you will not able to complete your work in time. So my recommendation is you need to always keep it simple. So maybe max 20 test cases. You don't want to reach beyond 20. Okay, max 20 and 10 is what is good figure. Okay, so if you're going beyond that, you're actually wasting your time in writing test cases, but rather than testing. So whatever information is this, maybe billing information is not correct. So maybe output might be different. Okay, we are not really worried on that in the testing level. I mean, on test cases level. Okay, we are just writing that we have completed it. Okay. So I hope that gives you an answer. So we'll talk about this. Okay, so we'll just talk about that. We actually that's a good point. Actually, that's a good point. So we'll talk about this just in a moment. Okay. So any other questions? So once you do this, just click on save and close. Once you have done that, here the test case is generated for you. TC324, that's automatically assigned for you. And okay, what type is this? What is the priority? Who is the owner of this? And what's the method? Is manual automation. Now coming back to that question, right? You need to write a lot of things, as I told you, that you need to perform. You need to perform the positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values. So what you want to do is here is what you can do is you want to write some information here because that when the audit, when there's a view, right? When review from the audit people, so they will be asking a lot of questions to you. Okay, you might escape from past, you might escape from your scrum master, you might escape from the developer, everyone, but audit people will scrutinize you. Okay, so they need to explain them because those guys are not technical. If they found some issue, they will question you. How did you perform this? Okay, you want to put it as tested for. So here you want to put some information here because we cannot write for everything, right? Because that gives too much time for writing just test cases is really not a good idea. But to do while you're doing testing, yes, you need to do that. Okay, but when you're writing test cases, you're just putting in some information, not giving too much. Okay, native values just for boundary values and fonts, headers, footers, images. Okay, this is what you're going to do because although we need to test that too, but really we don't have the test cases to do this because um, when we are navigating one page, that means that page should have included all this. Okay, so all this should be supposed to be done. So that's the reason I'm putting just some information saying that what we have tested is fonts, images. What, we'll just put this more information too. Static text, um, field values. Okay, and we'll just save and close. That should give some pretty good idea for people who are actually looking in, because your work will be reviewed from your lead, right? So that's the reason you want to give some information saying that, okay, what, I'm just completing in one test case so that we don't want to spend a lot of time writing test cases. We want to work on executing, right? We want to work on application, not on test cases. So here tested for positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values, tested for fonts, headers, footers, images, static text, field values. Okay, so we are covering like almost everything in just one bunch of test case. Okay, we cannot write in detail for every data or every input we are putting in. So, and that is not really a good idea because you don't want to prolong your test cases, in writing your test cases, because you need to start testing. Okay, any more questions? So that's how you can put some information when you want to do some extra testing. Okay. Okay. So no questions. Then we just move. Oops. Okay. So once I have what I have done is just I have created a test case. We've done nothing here. We have just created a test case. Now what you want to do is you want to execute this test case. Okay. Does it make sense? You just written this test cases. This has supposed to be done long back. Okay. Where we are doing it right now. Okay. So now once this is created, you need to execute your. Now let's see how do we execute this. There's three icons. You see here three icons. Let me annihilate people who cannot view or cannot hear properly. Let me annihilate it. Oops. Okay, so this three, you see this three. Oops. Okay, so these three icons. Maybe I need to find a better thing for this. Okay, so this is called result. Once you click on this, you are generating results. That means you are executing your test cases. This is called edit. Once you have completed test case, you can edit too. Okay, so that's the reason. And this is for copy. So let's say most of the time, of course, you want to copy it and change the wordings because you don't have much time to creating each and every test cases. And really, test cases are based on like how the company is performing, what are the requirements, what are the documentations, and a lot of things. Most of the time, you're just copying the test cases. You cannot create from scratch. Okay, creating scratch is good, but it requires a lot of time because the way it is done, the way it is performed is really different. So you want that template. Okay, how the company wants to proceed with the test case. So that's the reason most of the time we'll be copying it. So this is what, now let's execute it. Okay, now let's click on that. Okay, so build number you need to request with your lead. So here we just put is which build does it belongs to, and the verdict is it pass, verdict in census. What's the result? Okay, inconclusive, pass, fail. We just put this pass here. And who is the tester? The tester is, of course, the responsible guy. And the duration, how much time did it take? You know what? Just put it 10. Notes. So you know what? We'll just put the notes here. Okay. And one thing I didn't tell you, we are running short of time, but we'll finish it. You guys have 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just finish it. Okay, here's the thing. You want to put attachments here, okay? No, this is very important thing which I not discussed and we are talking about this. This is very important. Now, this attachment is a mandatory, okay? As you know, as my point of view, as I'm a tester, I need to put this attachment. Why? Because your work is scrutinized by your lead, by your boss, and lot many more people, audit people, and a lot of things. Okay. Now, if you put this attachment, you're safe. Okay, let's see how. Now, you know what? We'll just try to do this one. So let's go back. Let's try to create a. So what will I do is the way I work. Okay, I'll just use this MS Paint here. I mean, it's up to you. Totally up to you. Just I'm just saying my procedure how I do. Okay, and this paint. So the reason I use the paint to remove the unnecessary wordings, whatever is required. Go back to here again. I want to search for Word. So I'll be using Word, MS Word, because all these screenshots. So this is important, right? You need to put all the screenshots. Without screenshots, your result is invalid because. Okay, here you go. Now, okay. So now this is all the steps you perform, right? You just use this screenshot, put it here, and I will use whatever information required here. And that means you have tested this successfully, okay? Put it here. Okay, so this is my step one, and this next step. Okay, you just put this 10. Take a screenshot again. Put it here and just modify it a little bit. Now, for the third one, take a screenshot again. So the reason I'm using, you can directly put in the MS Word, there's no issues. But the reason I'm using this is, I don't want everything to show up, because I'm just using whatever I've tested, right? So I'll just use whatever it is tested here. So let's proceed with our use this information. And let's take a screenshot. Okay, and then one more page, place the order. Okay, great. So let's do this. So this is very important. Okay, so let me, we'll talk about this in 5 minutes. We have just take 5 minutes extra. What is this? Okay. Now once you have done that, okay. I mean, you don't even require paint. You can crop here itself in MS Word. MS Word is pretty good in that. Okay, you don't even require paint, but just for the sake of convenience. Okay, so here this is the result. Save it. And what I'm going to do is here, just go here, release my attachment, click on attachment, go to desktop. There you go. Okay. And So, okay, next question is, why do we really require this? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, nobody asked me that. Okay, so why do we really require all this? Okay, why do we need to put the screenshots here? So this is a very important thing. Okay, here, because let's say you have completed your testing. Okay, you have completed your testing. You know it. Now your boss looks into it. Okay, where is your result? Okay, this is the result. Okay, good. What is the evidence that you have completed your testing? That will be the very first question from your boss. Okay, valid question, right? How would I know that you have completed your testing? I need some proof, right? If you don't have proof, then that means, I don't know, you're doing something wrong, you're doing something right. How would I know? And that's really a good question, because if you don't have evidence and there's a production issue, and then if your boss calls you, hey, you know what, can you stop at this? Now that's really a troubling fact. So that's the reason I always recommend to put this document. Okay, what is document? Screenshots. Let's say that there is any production issue, right? Let's say there's a production issue and your boss calls you. Okay, your boss calls you and asks you, okay, so where is the result? How would I know that you have completed? So you can show this document. You know what? You can say, we have tested this. That there was no issue at that time. Okay, we don't know what has changed. Developer might be changing or whatever. We don't know. But when we tested it, there was no such issue. If you want, you can check it out in the my result option. This is the result. They will download it and view this. So once they download it, they will view. Okay, so this is what you have done testing. Screenshots. All the screenshots are evidences. All in this. So that's the reason you need this attachment. Does it make sense to everyone? I mean, I would say mandatory. Okay, but it's up to individual level. It's completely optional. It's up to you. How if you can answer the question of your boss saying that how would I know that you have completed testing, then you're good. You don't need this attachment. Trust me. If you can answer all the questions from your boss, then you don't require all this. Okay, but since if you cannot answer that question, you need to tell them, okay, so you know what, we have documented this, and this is an attachment, you can use the attachment. Okay. So that's how we execute the test cases. So once you've done that, this plus icon shows it. Once you expand it, here it shows, functional testing command line has been successfully executed, and the result is pass. If I want to check it out, I'll click on this edit option and check it out what really you have been doing. There is the attachment for this, and this is what the attachment, and you can view what you have testing and you already done. Does it make sense to everyone? Why do we use that? Screenshots. Screenshots are must. Okay, without screenshots, now I would say it is incomplete. Okay. At least to start with, okay, at least when you're starting it, or it doesn't matter if you are experienced, you don't have experience, okay, you have to put that, because some or other point of time, you will get a question on that. So to avoid such kind of questions, you just put it in. That's more simple. Okay, it's don't it doesn't have to be just bass. Okay, your bass may not really you might get a good bass, so that's fine. But when the review when you get a review from audit team, then they will question it if not your boss. Now if you cannot help them out, so they will say, okay, this is not completed, and then just reject it. Okay, so if this gets rejected, now this becomes serious issue, because this management, management problem, and this thing really becomes very serious. So that's the point. Okay, so when you put all this attachment and all the screenshot at one place, you are good. So whenever they catch you, even in the regression testing, even in the production, what, they will just come up, hey, this is an issue. So did you tested this? Yeah, I think so. Let me check it out. Okay, so if you have tested it, where is the, what have you done? you know what? Why don't you check it out? You know, here is the apartment, here is the attachment, and just check it out and let me know what you know. And at that point of time, there was no issue, and I'm not exactly sure what happened in between. Because a lot of testings are going on, a lot of production issues are going on, a lot of development is going on. We are not exactly sure, but you know that's what you can say to your boss when you have the question. Any more questions? So somebody asked, right, what's the difference between testing and test cases? Yes, the test case is a process of testing that's correct. Test so testing is test case is a document. Okay, it's whatever you want to document, right? It's a high level document. It's a high level document prepared by the QA. That's called test cases. Testing is something which is a process. Okay, it's not a document. It's a process. Um, you're testing this application, you're testing the flow, you're testing this kind of application, so that's called testing. Okay, it's a process. And test cases is document, okay, high level document prepared by the QA analyst. Any more questions? Okay, so yeah, make sure you guys do this. I'll be giving you homework on this. Okay. So here is the thing. This attachment is completely optional. I'll just leave it to you. If you're good at talking, that's good. I really don't care if you're good in talking. You know how to handle the boss. You know how to handle auditing. You know how to handle developer. That's good. But if you are not really good at that talking, you need to put really on some serious effort on this attachment. Okay, the screenshots and all those things is really you need to put an effort on that. Okay, so when I'm giving homework, okay, that's completely optional for you, the attachment. But I would say, think your decision. Think about your decision and make sure you put that attachment. Okay. Okay. So tomorrow we'll go through this defects, okay, defects, and we'll talk about this defect. Okay, if no one have any questions, can we close this class for today? So I'll be giving you access by today. Okay, just go through it, try to understand it. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. Okay, most probably you may not have any questions, but if you have, of course, you just send me an email. It's good to send an email so that we can discuss. Whenever I'm free, we can talk on this. So yeah, send me an email at manu@itmerica.com. So once you send it, okay, I'll send a document. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll send all the recordings. Okay, send me at okay. So people who are not getting it, oops, I just okay, good. Now everyone needs to listen. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, thank you guys.